all.
Just that?
Yep. 2 minutes, please. Can you cancel and do it again?
An obsession with hot women is basically broadcasting a man's low self-worth.
It does tend to do that, but yet we'll go on the internet and we'll say this will make you a real man if you go get the hot woman. So I don't have the answer to that other question of what do you do when interacting with a woman, because I know when I got out there and got successful with women in my 40s and 50s, I wasn't getting younger. You know, I went through a bankruptcy. I wasn't rich, but I had success. And I just had success because I didn't hold back. I practiced what I call touch, tease, and tell. If I had impulse to touch her, I'd touch her. I'd tease her. I would tell her, hey, come on, let's go do this. And I was just playful. I was uninhibited. And in general, women really liked that and really responded well. But what if we live in a world where if I just touch a woman's arm, I don't know if she's going to have a major overreaction to that, or she's going to go ballistic, or she's going to I become a hashtag #MeToo casualty, or it goes on her social media. I don't know the answer to that. So I agree with you though that we do need a readjustment. We need a some adjustments that, you know, a world where men can do whatever they wanted to women because they couldn't. They were bigger, strong, powerful. That hasn't changed. But now we have a world where women are going, we live in a culture where in the U.S. now, statistically, the first time since they started counting numbers, over 50% of men and women 35 and younger report not having been in a relationship in the last year. So with all our hookup culture, all the swipe right, all the, you know, the dating boot camps and, you know, Instagram, you know, you put all your photos, all of that stuff, people aren't getting into relationships. And I think there's probably a number of factors to it, but I think probably one of them is a fear factor. You know, if I get into a relationship, what are the consequences? If I even try to approach a person and talk to them, what are the negative consequences that are going to get broadcast on social media? And I'm not a big fan of social media for many reasons. It has value, but yeah, I'm glad I'm not a young guy having to navigate.
It's perilous. It's perilous. And then it's also, you know, perilous as a girl who wants to get into a relationship because they think, well, I need to, you know, Chris said cultivate receptivity and drop the handkerchief and stuff. That seems like that seems like a smart idea. And yet, I'm physically vulnerable and there are these horror stories out there and I am afraid of strange men.
And maybe they've had those horror stories.
And maybe I've got evidence in my history that justifies my fear of that and I've now got to get over it. Yeah, given that we have the most permissive mating culture ever, it is strange that dating has probably never been so hard.
And go back to the similar statistics, it's so few young adults are having sex. You know, maybe more just makes it easier to just go get things done that way. But yeah, I think we live in a place where, well, my two thoughts about the hookup culture. Yeah, part of it is this fear of, you know, both men and women. You know, what am I getting myself into? But I think for men, because men, I tell guys, you know, our grandfathers maybe saw 3 beautiful women in their lifetime and didn't see any of them naked. Right? Guys can go get beautiful women, not even just on porn, but just on their Instagram pages, TikTok, whatever. Beautiful woman after beautiful woman without a lot of clothes. Well, I think there's one thing with men nowadays. Even if we get a woman, you know, maybe a woman that we consider desirable, we're looking around. She's cuter. She's cuter. She's cuter. She's cuter. And so I think guys have this thing. Well, I can't make any kind of ongoing commitment to this one because there might be this cuter one that I want to be with. And you know, I tell guys, number one, of course, you're always going to see prettier younger women. And the woman you're with also sees the prettier younger women and knows you're thinking, you know, wouldn't it be nice? And so that's always going to happen. I tell guys, you have to stop that kind of thinking, kind of ruminating. Well, I'm with this one, but because I'm with her, I can't be with her. That serves you no purpose. That will not move you forward in life, because even if you weren't with this one, you probably wouldn't talk to that one anyway. But, so I think for the men, there's just so many beautiful women to be seen everywhere. We have this fear of getting all the way in with one, because what if I want to get with that other girl? I think for women, it's a little bit different dynamic. Maybe I'll hear from some women about this. I think for the women, social media, and it gives them lots of attention. And I think the feminine thrives on attention and desire and praise. That's the feminine in any of us. And so I think for women, if I just commit to one guy, if I get all from one guy, I got to turn off my social media, this constant following praise. I got to quit putting sexy selfies of myself up and getting all the likes and all the, you know. And so we've got this kind of technological world that makes it so easy to meet, connect, go fast, and nobody's actually getting together or staying together for any length of time.
Talk to me about how guys can be more confident when talking to
not seek their approval. You know what? I've never worried about confidence. Now, I will say that if a man interacts with a woman with confidence, it creates the same chemical reaction in her brain that he would have if she lifted her shirt and showed her his breasts. You don't have to think about it. We don't have to think, do I like those? It's just wired. And if a guy is confident, women, they don't have to think about it. Do I like that? But they just like it. What I found for me, because I've got all my own insecurities, and I've got all my own history of what women aren't attracted to me, and beautiful women aren't attracted to me, even though my second wife was gorgeous, and I've been with plenty of beautiful women. And, we've got these messages that still dictate, how we behave. For me, it was always more of a matter of just not holding back. Not holding back. Again, the fact that I would just talk to people everywhere I go, and all of a sudden, a woman in a room sees, who is that guy? He just talks to everybody. He seems to know everybody. Every restaurant I went in, I asked people their name. I asked Uber drivers their name. I asked your camera guy his name. Anthony, right? Yes. You had to think, is that right? You can embarrass me if it wasn't.
That's fine.
But I always ask their names. If I forget or get it wrong, I ask again. And so there's just something about that of just being socially interactive that I found tends to be highly attractive to the feminine. Now, I'm married to a jealous Latina, and she is always pointing out women that are coming on to me or, trying to get my attention. They're always very young, and I don't chase young women. But there's just something. That into basically my guide for life. That's why I said yes to my wife. She said, I went back and got a massage. Every amazing thing in my life has come from saying yes. I say yes to interviews. I say yes to opportunities. I say yes to go be a part of this retreat. I just keep saying yes, and it's funny how things just keep coming to me when you say yes. I used to be, I'd think about it, research it, talk about it a lot, take a lot of time, and then the opportunities come and gone. So I think that being uninhibited, not holding back, having a yes mentality has tended to make me attractive to women. And I even kind of hesitate to say that. I'm 68 years old. Hair's gone. What I've got is white. I think I'm very average in very many ways. And in spite of that averageness, I don't seem to have any problem attracting good things to my life, whether they be opportunities to talk to interesting people, take interesting trips, have women pay attention to me. And there's no magic to it, but if I just tell guys, again, get out of the house, expand your route, linger in public, talk to people, test for interest, walk through open doors, say yes, it makes you an interesting person. And, when you were working in nightclubs, that's all the people were. They were just saying, they were interacting with people, right?
Yes.
And they're not because they were so rich or so good looking, they just were engaged. And that just makes such a difference.
What are some of the more successful or creative ways that people can use online dating? You mentioned that you briefly sort of got into and got out of the apps for better or worse. They're here to stay.
Well, I actually never did the apps. They came along, and maybe I'm grateful for that. I hear they're addictive. And maybe that's part of the problem. I know guys, I've had guys come visit me for the whole time they're hanging out with me or in my house or by the pool, they're on their friggin' app the entire time. And maybe get a few dates out of it so, they work. A buddy told me one time that apparently he got pretty good at doing the apps. And he said, if you ever got a mutual connection, his standard response was, whatever the woman's name was, say her name. Hey, Jessica, you animal, what are you doing here? And he said, that just seems to work. Now, I don't know that it's tried or true, but it does kind of fit that model of just not holding back, just being out there. I tell guys, blurt, so just blurt. I tell guys, if something comes to the front of your mind, just say it. The more you hold back, the safer you get. And again, even though I say women by nature are security-seeking creatures, i.e. the whole #MeToo thing, they're drawn to something that has an edge to it, something that has some energy to it. So I'd say as much as anything, don't play it safe. Playing it safe is boring. But again, to just give it, now, my favorite one, like I said, I was pre-app, but one of the things I would do, if I connected with a woman like on Match.com, I'd send her a message and I say, all right, I call you up. I tell you, you got 30 minutes to pack your passport, your flip-flops, and your bikini. Where are we going? And then starts a conversation. It kind of gets them thinking. It gets you into their mind of doing something together. It's going to be a nice place, some tropical or warm. I've already told them, pack your bikini, your flip-flops, and your passport. Going someplace fun. And they get to pick what it is. So now, if they respond to that, I find out how they think, how they engage in that kind of energy, what kind of places they like to go. We got something to talk about now. If I had been there, not been there, we can talk about it. Have you been there? So do something that just creates an energy that they want to respond to. But
It's exciting, it's playful.
yeah.
Charlie, you went on my friend Charlie Hooper's show a couple of months ago, and he has almost exactly the same thing for speaking to women. That where would we go if we were going to take a trip away together? And then she says that, and he says, "Oh, it's okay. I'll quit my job. I can sell Lucy cigarettes on the beachfront.
Yeah.
We can make mushroom cocktails, and we'll sell those. And it's fun. Like that kind of fantasizing, the playful sort of teasing energy. I think, I don't know, there's a meta meme at the moment around seriousness and earnestness from guys, but the playfulness, I think, is where it's fun because it helps to relieve some of the pressure. You're a dude who's speaking to a girl. You're already terrified that she's going to reject you. You're terrified about these things, and the more serious you make the interaction, the more that piles the pressure up.
I mentioned earlier that I think all the women I've been married to have ruminating brains, and I think a lot of women do. My wife will say, "Oh, today's a 12 hamster day." They're just the hamsters are spinning up there. And if you think about it, most women nowadays live in such, I'll just call it a masculine world. With feminism, they've been taught, go accomplish, have a career, don't be dependent on a man, blah, 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 blah. Don't even think about kids till you're pushing 40, just try. I mean, just that whole, the masculine doing mentality. And if they have any degree of feminine essence, they also like beauty and love and escape and beaches and romance, but yet most of them just drown that out because they got to get up and got to do their job. And looking for this studio, I came in from the door down on the street, and I opened the door. Here's 25 women all sitting at desks real close to each other, and I go, yeah, I'm looking for a studio, and they go, what floor, what suite? So anyway, here's all these young women doing a job, right?
Yep.
Driven to do that. And the whole song, girls just want to have fun. They do. They want an escape from that, and often they don't know how to get themselves out of that hamster wheel mentality. Once they're in it, they don't have a ready-built escape. Maybe that's why they go to get the glass of wine or cocktail hour or whatever.
It relieves that.
So what if you come along and they weren't expecting you, they don't know who you are, and maybe, whatever, however you engage them, gets them past that fear of who is this guy, what does he want? And what if you can just be engaging and playful and spontaneous and uninhibited, you know, you're either going to make their day better for 45 seconds, or you may, you know, spend a while. When I was taking salsa lessons, and, you know, I went from being a terrible salsa dancer to being, you know, kind of an awkward, still white guy salsa dancer. But, you know, I'd be standing on a corner waiting on a bus, or standing somewhere, and I'd ask them, do you salsa? And if they said no, I go, I'm taking lessons. Let me show you a step. I would just get the frame, get them in frame, and I'd do a simple cross-body lead. Or if they said yes, I go, good, I'm taking salsa. Let me practice with you. I'm trying to practice, you know, this cross-body lead with a spin. I would just do stuff like that. And again, not as a technique, but I just found that if I just was uninhibited and engaged with people, most people are going to stay glued to their phone. But, you know, some people actually respond. They light up. They want to engage, even, again, for just a few moments or longer.
Talk to me about being outcome agnostic.
Outcome agnostic. I didn't come up with that term, but the first time I heard it, I just loved it. You know, probably most of us have heard that the Buddha said that attachment is the cause of all suffering. When I teach men this about being outcome agnostic, non-attached to outcome, men get mad at me. They think I made that up and imposed it on. No, don't put it on me. It probably preceded the Buddha even. But the truth is, if we get emotionally attached to a specific outcome, we're going to suffer. And that's just the human condition. And we all get attached. And guys will say, well, why would I even date? Why would I talk to a woman if I wasn't attached to getting that pretty woman? And I go, well, you might not. But I said, if you have fewer attachments, you might actually be more engaging and not so anxious. Because I also say that attachment is the cause of all anxiety. And so, what if, keeping the dating sphere, what if you're standing, there's a woman standing next to you, and let's say, you know, she's reasonably attractive, and you want to say something to her. What if you were equally okay?
Beautiful women in the world.
He has got to be literally the best human being I've ever met.
What is his golden secret? Right now, he's dating the beautiful model, Emily Ratajkowski.
Obviously, women find him very attractive.
Yeah, well, obviously. The Kim Kardashian was even the one who pursued him.
You pursued him. You
I
asked
know.
for his
And that's
number.
so not me.
The Ariana Grande was the one who said she'd marry him at first sight.
Davidson, thanks for existing.
And he also dated hair, and hair. All gorgeous women. I mean, even Pete cannot believe it.
She describes seeing you as awkward as you feel inside. He said, with every possible outcome. Now, you might prefer some, right? You might prefer that, you know.
Are you guys dating?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Can I have her for $100?
That's her answer, man. I'm gonna let her answer. What you want to say?
The fuck? What do you mean by that? What about $1,000 cash right now for her?
You mean what?
Yeah, $1,000.
Hey, you can have the 1,000. I just need it for the night, you know? Like,
Can you agree with that? And you want to continue to have going with this? Are you serious? You're talking about nothing. She's smart.
แล้วบาปกับบุญมันมีจริงไหมฮะอาจารย์มันมีจริงไหมครับมึงไปส่องกระจกสิเดี๋ยวมึงก็เห็นบาปเป็นยังไงหน้ามึงเนี่ยส่องกระจกเข้าไปนะตัวบาปดูกระจกอย่างเดียวตื่นเช้ามาดูกลางวันดูเย็นดูนั่นแหละตัวบาปมึงเคยเห็นไว้เดินเข้าไปในกระจกเซลฟี่ก็ได้โทรศัพท์มองเข้าไปแปะหน้าบ้านเลยแปะหน้าห้องน้ำก็ได้นั่นแหละจะได้รู้ว่านั่นมึงน่ะสันดานบาปที่สุดถามนี้ต้องมาตกกับกูด้วยเนี่ยผมบอกแล้วให้มึงก็ไม่ถามไม่มีสาระที่ผมถามแล้วมีสาระเลยคือบ้านผมน่ะขโมยมึงนะ
Respond to you and maybe give you a number and maybe she go on a date with you unless maybe you find a
big difference between the snow bunny and the African queen is the snow
out she's a psycho bitch from hell and then you wish she hadn't, you know, but then what if you're equally okay with that as a 6 years ago. Really sick. 3 months in pain all the time. Couldn't eat, couldn't use the bathroom, lost over 30 pounds, went to doctors in the U.S., Mexico, got undiagnosed, misdiagnosed. Did I want that? I knew it was killing me. I didn't know what it was killing me. The last doctor I saw in the U.S., a gastroenterologist, said, you probably just have, a Mexican parasite you have to outlive. I wasn't going to outlive a golf ball sized tumor in my small intestine. She didn't even run the right test. Looking for it. At some point, I surrendered. I didn't know what I had. I didn't know it was going to kill me. I had a pretty good idea. It might be killing me. I was headed that direction. I was in pain all the time. The only remedy to pain was just breathing and relaxing into it. And when I finally surrendered into it, the pain became less. Did I want to be in pain? Did I want to know? But I surrendered. I accepted. I had something I might not ever know what I had. I accepted it might be killing me. And it got easier. People would ask me, Robert, how are you feeling? And I'd say, I don't know if I'm actually doing better, feeling better, or just I've gotten better at feeling bad. But the surrender and the acceptance of it let me live with it. And then great story of how my wife found the doctor that found the tumor, that took it out, and all of that. And here I am 6-7 years later, and life's good, and I'm happy. Would I want to go through that again? No, but I do it at least once a year.
Nah, just a little reminder.
Yeah, just have a good life. So it's a practice to become outcome agnostic, to be equally okay with every possible outcome. Guys will say, why would I even get out of bed in the morning? I go, I don't know about you, but when I'm not attached to if I'm not emotionally attached to so many specific outcomes, I get out of bed, in a good mood, excited for the adventure of the day. Yep. This morning I knew I was going to come do an interview with you, and I know we had a previously good interview, so I knew it was going to be good. You said, I'm going to introduce you to some phenomenally interesting friends. All of my friends have bets going on who that may be. So we're having a good time. It doesn't matter who you introduce me to, because I know it's going to be cool. We're going to have a good time. So what if we can just get up every day and live that way, that life's going to be good today. One of my mantras is I love waking up in the morning not knowing how my day's going to end. And I've had so many days getting ready for bed going, I did not see this coming when I got up this morning. And today's probably going to be one of those days.
You are experienced in dating after breakups and divorces. What is your advice to guys that are trying to get back into the market after they've been in a relationship for a while?
I don't know if it changes that much for guys that have never been. When I got out of dating, I realized two things. I'd done enough work on myself by that time. I realized that I'd always use nice guy seduction to get women. Listen to them talk about their problems, be kind, be nice, do things for them, fix things, pay their car payment, help their sister move. And then maybe, and hide your sexual agenda from them. Then maybe they'll want to take their clothes off. The math on that doesn't work well either. And so I thought, okay, I got to change that pattern. And I thought two things. Like I said, I was in my late 40s. I thought, I have to become a better picker, and I have to become a better ender. And I didn't even know really how to be a good picker. So friends started giving me all kinds of stuff. I read Neil Strauss. Guys gave me Double Your Dating with David D'Angelo. I just listened to podcasts. And mainly, like I said, I just got out in public every chance I got.